All right, so Lux Ashe control. Ashe, or Lux, is one of my favorite champions. Was one of my favorite champions, probably my favorite before Diana was printed in this last set. Just really cool, sweet effects. So 4, 5 for 6. Has a barrier when she comes into play, so tough to kill in combat. When she's seen you cast 6 plus total mana worth of spells, she levels up and creates a Final Spark. Final Spark is a fleeting spell, so you have to use it the turn you get it. And it deals 4 damage to an enemy, and it has Overwhelm, so extra damage that would be dealt to the enemy past its toughness gets dealt to your opponent's X's. Her leveled mode is just a little bit bigger and continues making Final Sparks every time you cast 6 plus mana worth of spells. I've played a few different Lux decks off stream this season, trying to find one that I like, and I think it's really hard to play Lux in shells other than this one in particular because of how big other decks are able to go right now. So last season, I think Lux was kind of one of the bigger things you could be doing. It was hard for other people to consistently go over the top of you making Final Sparks, but Orion Sol really kind of changes that dynamic in Runeterra in that he's much bigger. So the reason why I think this Lux deck in particular can still be very good is because when we pair with Ashe, Ashe generates these pressure you, kind of kill you out of nowhere board states in the mid game that allow you to kind of punch through if they make it to Orion Sol on turns like 7, 8, 9. So Ashe levels up when you frostbitten things, and then her leveled mode says enemies with 0 power can't block. So she allows you with things like Harsh Winds to level Ashe quickly and also make their board not block. Yeah, so this deck, in addition to Harsh Winds and Ashe, I'm playing Flash Freeze, Brittle Steel, and Ice Veil Archer as lots of ways to frostbite my opponent. And these frostbite cards pair incredibly well with challenger units like Mage Seeker Persuaders. Rhinefang Wolf can kill literally anything if it has 0 power. This Rhinefang text on Strike also notably works with single combat. So if you flash freeze something and then single combat with Rhinefang Wolf, you can kill it outside of combat as well. And then someone noting here, the new card from set 3 that I've added is Screeching Dragon. So Screeching Dragon, I feel like, is a great example of it's hard to figure out how good cards are going to be until you play with them. So Screeching Dragon not only has Challenger, but also has the Fury keyword, which is a really powerful combination. So Screeching Dragon is frequently dragging little things in front of it to kill them, and then getting bigger when it does so. So the other card that's similar to Screeching Dragon is Swiftwing Lancer, and I was not expecting Dragon to feel better than Lancer on average, but in my experience playing it has. So Lancer has a Last Breath to create a little bit of value and is a 5/4, but it doesn't make itself bigger. Another thing that's notable, in addition to Screeching Dragon making itself bigger and playing well with our Frostbites, the fact that Screeching Dragon does not have a 5th point of power to start is actually really good with Babbling Berg here, because Babbling Berg specifically draws a unit out of our deck with 5+ power, so if we don't play Swiftwing Lancer, Babbling Berg is guaranteed to draw us Ashe or draw us a leveled up Lux if we've leveled Lux already. So that's specifically why you see me also avoiding the card Radiant Guardian, which tends to be a staple in these decks, is because by avoiding Radiant Guardian and Swiftwing Lancer, Babbling Berg is basically guaranteed to be 3 more virtual copies of my champions, which I really want lots of access to. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it feels. Hey, BJ, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, basically that. It's in treat on a stick. So, opponent is playing Kalista, Shadow Isles here with Freljord, so they're definitely the aggro Endure deck. I think on the play especially I can keep this. We'll play Remembrance turn 3 by banking our spell mana on turns 1 and 2, and then turn 5 we'll be able to play Screeching Dragon out and get the board in control, hopefully. think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan Babbling, looking for some other cheap things. I'm going to play Remembrance on 3, which means Mage Seekers is going to be ready to make a Detain, so I think I'm going to keep that one. So again, planning to just use that Runeterra spell mana mechanic to bank mana on the first 2 turns, so I can play Remembrance on turn 3. Mistwraith's an interesting one. Okay. So this generates a random Demacia ally that costs exactly 5. There are currently 5 different Demacia allies that meet that requirement, one of which is Screeching Dragon. Here there be dragons. Rawr. So we'll get to play Mage Seeker Investigator on their turn, bank a spell mana towards Brittle Steel, and then on our 5, we'll play another Screeching Dragon out. Just get to be bearing down on them, which is great.
Will you comply, or are you complicit?
Will you comply, or are you complicit?
I trust my instincts.
I'm gonna go ahead and use this Brittle Steel here, so that way my dragon gets to Fury without taking damage, which is ideal. Nom 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 nom. My dragons are hungry, chat. They are hungry. Okay, and here's the ASOL matchup. This matchup is not free by any means, but I do think we have the tools to be competitive here. We are on the plate, which means Remembrance is probably a keep. I don't want these till later. There might be merit to keeping single combat to kill their first piece of ramp, but if they don't have an 0-4 ramp, it's kind of sucks. So I think I'm going to full mulligan. Nice, Otto. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Game is a lot of fun. Turn 3 Remembrance is frequently a line you take in this deck, especially when you're attacking on odds and you have it in your opener. Little thing here. Spacey Sketcher. Okay. Do I want to hook this? Yeah, probably. Just gobble gobble. I was going to say, if they pass to me, I was going to pass back. No blocks. Think we just Ashe?
I will unite the Freljord.
Next turn, I can Persuader and Iceveil Archer. This is already triggered because I played this on 3. Ideally, we're going to save Harsh Winds for after we Lux. That's a Screeching Dragon. Do we Screeching Dragon? Well, I guess this is bad against Icequake.
The trolls are going to war!
Huh? I think I trade those and hit them to 15 here. Probably the play. Gets a Frostbite in for Ashe here too. It's a pretty good elite. Yeah, it could have been right to open on attacks there. Playing the dragon's a little greedy.
I'll knock 'em dead.
Do I just eat this Trundle with back-to-back? If I back-to-back and they have the troll card, I get in trouble. The +2 defense, -2.
We can do this.
+2 defense, -2 attack.
Leave your bags at the door.
I think I like back-to-back attack this turn. I could also Rhyme Fang into attack. Back-to-back into attack is better against Icequake, but if they didn't have Icequake earlier, they could have had 2 Trundles though, because Trundle's champion spell is Icequake. The upside to back-to-backing is it generates me a Final Spark, which means I can kill the Rinding Stone, so I think that's the play.
Better, brighter than before.
And that's a burst spell, so I retain priority when it happens, so I'm going to go ahead and attack right away here.
Let's talk about your tab. I've carved meat bigger than you. Come back next.
So anyways, I started blasted. Sure. So they're gonna have 9 mana again next turn because they ramped 1, but I'm killing one of their pieces of onboard ramp. So still notable they are not on Orient Soul mana next turn. Is the thing to note here.
They brave or stupid?
I think bolting the bird's a thing in this game. It depends. I think I'm frostbiting their 2 things here to keep Lux alive. Means I can Final Spark to kill this as well. She levels on one more Frostbite. Black Sheep for real. Thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
No more holding back.
Make way for trolls!
And then the opponent's archetype tends to not play that many pieces of instant speed interaction.
Flies.
So I could just do this and attack. If they have a star shaping, I get into trouble. Yeah, I valued the 2 face damage over giving the dragon +1/+1 is exactly correct. So they've already played one heal 5. I think I'm supposed to play around another one though, right? What's the punish? They have Ice Quake. If I want to play around, and I can play around Ice Quake by playing Babbling Berg, because Babbling Berg will get me another Ashe, right? It'll still reduce the power on these though. They're more likely to have a heal than an Ice Quake.
Magic corrupts Demacia from within.
Your Demasia's nothing like what I know.
Because they can't play Orient Soul here or they just die. Yeah, Catalyst also worth playing around. You hushed my thing? Sure. You think I can still kill you, right?
Show them what we're made of. Show me a target.
You have no alibi.
This is about how my rank matches have been going. I played this 3 or 4 times off stream. Couldn't they have hushed Cithra before your attack? Oh, that's a good thought. Do they not die if that's the case? Yeah, I think you're right. So Cithra is bad because they had another hush, but they also punted it. You're correct. Yeah, I should have just played out all my 2-drops. Are they still dead? They get to block. I have 2 challengers. They might have still been dead. I didn't count. I think your chat's right that they were still dead. Alright, so we won this matchup really handily earlier. That being said, this is definitely a match where play versus the draw matters, and they're attacking on odds this time. Last time we were attacking on odds. I'm going to keep my remembrance, but I'm mulliganing the rest of these, really hoping to see some of our 2-drops. Okay, I have 2-3 here, which is nice. We'll see what they do. Depending on how aggressive their start is, I might still wait to try and play this on 3.
The chains, they never stop.
If their start's kind of mediocre, we'll probably do this.
What does he want from me?
Yeah, like this doesn't really constitute super aggressive. Do they have Ravenous Butchers, like the 3/2s to kill these and get some pressure going? They do? Okay. Is this a reason to Iceveil Archer? I think it is. Yeah. I can take 4, right? So they're gonna open attacks, I'll just take 4. I think that's fine.
I've gotta get out of here.
I love this dragon chat. He's such a good boy. I think I'm gonna wait. Oh god, that's an incredible draw. Holy crap.
Winter take you.
Because our curve's real good here. Because we played Remembrance, so this is already triggered. I was gonna say we kind of want to bank some spell mana, but with that draw, we'll just go 2-drop, 2-drop. Like, run their board down here, hopefully. Got it.
Save the homestead.
Yeah, Remembrance is a good example of good variance, in my opinion. It's a card that gives you a range of play patterns, but it's predictable in what you can about expect to get to it.
They're out there.
We don't play Radiant Guardian in this deck because I like Screeching Dragon better in a lot of situations. And by not playing Radiant Guardian, Babbling Bird is guaranteed to draw us Lux, which I think is important. Or guaranteed to draw us Ashe, sorry. Ashe or level Lux. So make sure Babbling Bird more consistent and predictable, which is ideal. Shark Chariot's interesting. Take some damage from that one.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
This Ephemeral cannot block. Whenever they attack with another Ephemeral, it pops back up. Oh, Warden's Prey created this card. That makes sense. So say this isn't usually a card that they play, but Warden's Prey generated it. That's the Last Breath unit.
In Avarosa's name. You look guilty.
You'll make a fine totem.
This block is probably wrong because they have a lot of deal ones in their deck. So I'd rather have this keep a second point of toughness. This card's super playable. I keep going back and forth. So like right now, I have a 3-1 split between Dragons and Rhymetusk Shaman. It could be right to have a 2-2 split. I'm not 100% sure on that mix that I have at the moment. Shaman is also very good with Dragon, because you just like Frostbite things for Dragon to eat.
Lady Elise, where are you?
Where are you?
Ice runs in our veins.
With double Flash Freeze rolled up in hand, I think I just want to go ahead and get Lux down.
Can do this.
You just can't win at this point, I don't think. We won't spend too much time in garbage time, because our deck's got a lot of closing power, but...
Everyone's a garden.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with the dragon and eat the spider. They have these blockers. It's a free roll, right? It takes the damage, but it gets 1/1.
Sends chills up my
And then here you can see kind of the power here. Ashe is ready to level up next turn once Rhymetusk and her attack happens. They just like won't be able to block and we'll kill them outright. This deck has an incredible amount of closing power once it gets set up. Basically 0 garbage time, which is lovely.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
I think not. There's something they were playing around, but not attacking with Lux. They had 2 ephemeral units, so attacking just didn't do anything. So, we weren't playing around anything, but we were just like, doesn't do anything to click it.
Strike what they cannot see. Under cover of night.
I must get out of
This was a generated card. It's a targeting card, obviously.
The time is right. Strike now.
frost reveals all to me.
My aim is true.
Do I need to open attacks here? I don't think so, right?
Let fly.
Back-to-back, very good. Combat trick, also good at helping us close games out if we needed extra damage for some reason. I'd be careful, Beansy. Some of those folks are pretty crazy.
The time is right. Strike now.
I've been hiding my light too long.
And that was a burst spell, so I get to attack with this. She'll ice this. And then Ashe says these things can't block. It's an attack for 21 cleanly.
A new Freljord will rise.
I think I'm pretty confident I'm gonna have this in my lineup for the tournament. Of course, I was confident on two of my other decks a little bit ago too, so that could change. But I've liked the games. I've liked the way these games have played out. So Johnny, Gangplank. So I think I'm mulliganing these. I'm gonna keep one Ice Veil Archer here to kind of stunt the early bleeding. Perfect. And there's the Remembrance, so we'll get to Remembrance on 3 again here since we're on the play. What are the other two that I'm thinking of? Some form of Diana deck, either Twisted Diana or Violent Gems. Not 100% yet.
Time to get rich.
Alright, Remembrance, you've been giving me dragons every time. Can we 20% again? Big fan of dragons. Nom 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 nom. Who's a hungry boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I need more hands. No.
Have we played a dragon deck yet? We haven't played it on stream, but you can find one in my Mobilytics decks. I played a little off stream. I don't think it's super competitive, but it's fun.
Falling for blood.
Run away!
All the world on one arrow.
Up there in the mountains. A true Freljordian welcome.
A true Freljordian welcome. What's up, Declan? This bottom one. It says world type old. I don't know what that means. You can try it though.
Rarely forget and never forgive. Captain on deck. A chill in the air.
We the promised day would come and Morrowind would grace this channel. Sadly, I missed the first day, but hyped to see more. Thanks for the 11 months, Rashad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to digging into more of that myself. It was a lot of fun. This dragon is hungry, chat, and Gangplank's for dinner.
Show me a target.
They could change that down the line, Joey, if they decided they wanted troll-themed things. We saw them add dragon to something already, right? They could very easily go back and decide they want that to matter. I think they basically just, like, aren't flagging things as tribes that, like, it doesn't matter for. Which seems fine. Our opponent is not out of this by any means. Like, their champions are up to a good number here. I do have Babbling Berg here to redraw Ashe out of my deck. Another Screecher is good.
Carved from the savage code.
Okay, so with that, I need to hold up Harsh Wind so I don't lose my dragon, right? So we'll just pass here.
Born for conquest.
If it's a fight they want.
Do I trade these to prevent a level up counter on these? I think so. I think that's a worthwhile exchange.
They'll come for you.
So they have a warning shot here they're debating if they want to use. It's a good pickup.
Denounce magic. My cause is righteous. You have no alibi.
You have. I like using these frostbites pretty aggressively to keep Screeching Dragon's health high to start. Does the opponent's deck play Harsh Winds? Usually no. Alright, so you have a Rex.
They'll be blood in the water. Mages can't hide from me. They have to get destroyed. Insolent cur. My call. The tall as a mountain and covered in ice.
I'll lead us to victory.
Maybe I'm just supposed to play Dragon here and get that leveling again.
All the world on one arrow.
Okay, don't warning shot second Rex me.
Not yet. Good to go.
Swiftly now.
This card's great, by the way, chat. Play more Flash Freeze. This is the upside. This is the upside to playing the wolf out as opposed to the dragon. We get to do this. Have we played Trundle-Aesol? Yeah, this deck's reasonable against Trundle-Aesol. You just kill them before they do anything. And like by the time they develop a board, you just like have Ashe leveled and attack past it.
Get bloody, get paid.
this might be wrong. I kind of just wanted to cantrip it here. It's a good pickup.
There'll be blood in the water. Knocked and ready.
So they're dead, right? We frostbite one, we challenge the two others.
As the arrow flies.
We'll do this just in case they have something to not die. Sweet.
The war is over. Now we rebuild.
Now we rebuild. Single combat with Wolf is very good. Big agree. Rhyme a premium card right now. I like it a lot. Feels very strong in a variety of matchups. Yeah, and one more. I'm actually not 100% if I'm playing Twisted Fate Diana or if I'm playing, I'm not sure if I'm playing Twisted Fate Diana or if I'm playing, Diana Vi. Need to figure that out. Okay, so we're attacking on odds. Definitely keeping Dragon against an aggro deck. I think we're keeping the Mage Seeker too as just a good stat line. Could maybe keep single combat. I think I want to mulligan at least 2 cards though, because I would like to try and find a, what's it called? I would like to find a Remembrance, ideally. These aren't amazing, but they're fine. Yeah, I'm taking variety game submissions, which leads to some troll ones on occasion. I took Bad Rats with the asterisk that I only had to play it for a half hour or so.
I have my orders.
There's a Diana Vi deck floating around. Yeah, so I should be plugging this more today. But on my website now, I added a Runeterra deck section. So if you haven't been to my site before, I've hosted Magic decks up there for a long time. There's a Runeterra decks page now, which has lots of sweet things like Diana Vi. Never didn't have it. Wow, didn't get a dragon. Never lucky. What changed that Mobalytics was not sufficient? People just keep asking. And, like, the decks that are up there, like, if you go to the page, and I made it very clear that it's not a tier list. It's just these decks are sweet that I like. Like, for example, this deck is up there. Because this deck is sweet, and I like it.
Pick the losing side.
No dragon deck's bad. Yeah, exactly. You get me. So if they open attacks here, single combat will be decent and helping ensure we don't take a ton of damage. And then we can play a dragon next turn to try and take over the board.
All hands on deck.
I think I just play out babbling here.
Eyes blazing bright as torches.
So we're gonna take 6, 7 here.
Not with Steve.
Maybe 8. Take 8.
Damn it.
We're stabilizing. If we're stabilized, we're gonna be a little bit low here.
And hot.
So.
Fuse is lit.
These things each deal a damage when they die. Opponent's draw is very good here.
Remember my
I just frostbite these two and stay where I'm at. I think that's the play, right? It's kind of sad to burn the frostbite before I Lux, or the harsh winds. I guess I could flash freeze one and single combat the other. I don't hate that. Hey, thanks for the 2 years, Maloney. Yeah, I agree, Kat. I think this deck is in a good position overall. I like it a lot. This card was a huge addition to it. I think Screeching Dragon is super powerful. We're gonna take 1 total damage here from this last breath trigger. We're gonna have to take another damage from this later. We need to fade like Decimates, like Captain Pharaon's one of their better draws from here. Single combat the 1, 2, 3. It's a wash, right? I guess there's probably technically something we play around by making that sequence. But it's the exact same thing, right? We end up in the same spot. Yeah, we're just gonna get burned out here, unfortunately. There isn't a ton of aggressive decks like this in the format with a bunch of reach right now.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Can't win them all. Might be able to fade here, but we're gonna be dead to we're dead to Noxian Fervor as well as Decimate here, so I assume this game is done.
For the Empire. For the
Yep.
glory of Noxus. Illuminate the enemy!
Try me.
And this is one of the places where non-target control is going to struggle. Having target in your deck gives you power to gives you access to those very good. Oh wow, make it rain. Can you play around that? Maybe. Yeah, Targan giving you access to healing. I think the opponent's deck tends to be very mediocre against like the ramp decks because they play the deal 2s and stuff like that in addition to the really powerful healing, but definitely a strong start like that's going to run us down because our deck's not playing sweepers. I don't think our deck wants to play sweepers. I think sometimes you just are going to die to their nut draw. It's just how it goes. Yeah, you could reconstruct the deck to play Radiant Guardian, but I think on average I prefer Screeching Dragon. That is very true. Radiant Guardian is good there. They are attacking on odds, which is scary. Misfortune Quinn. I think I'm full mulliganing here, looking for Remembrance for turn 3, Brittle Steel, and 2 drops. Okay. Dragon is much worse when you're attacking on evens.
Denounce magic.
Wish I understood what was going on in these types of games. I would heavily encourage you to just download the Runeterra app. It's free to play. You can get a feel for the game very easily there. They have an excellent tutorial that plays through challenges that show you all the different mechanics of the game. Yeah, the fact they missed on turn 1 is a big deal. So this has Challenger, so it's going to be able to force something I have to block, and they can give it +1/+1 with this. So I have to decide, do I want to Rhyme Fang Wolf here or not? If I Rhyme Fang, it'll encourage them to not attack with this unless they want to trade. I could also just Flash Freeze their attacker, though, which I think is what I want to do. I'm just going to pass.
No one goes hungry.
Just use my resources here. Wipe the attack off of this. This is a very good draw.
Magic must be stopped.
Before it spreads.
If Runeterra will see best of 3 with sideboarding. Maybe. I unlike Magic, I don't think Runeterra needs best of 3 with sideboarding. Runeterra doesn't have the incredible number of non-games that Magic has that make best of 3 with sideboarding a necessity to not feel awful. Okay, so we're definitely playing this Harsh Winds, right? The question is, what am I Harsh Windsing? Probably the Valor and something else, right? Probably their Challenger unit. Yeah, Runeterra, generally speaking, does not have cards that require narrow answers either. Having fewer card types is a big deal for that.
Fall to our standard. Hardly fair. Can't fight on an empty stomach. Insolent cur.
Prepare for combat.
Could have played around that. Could have played around that. I should have blocked the 3/3, or just not blocked. There's a good chance I just shouldn't block there. It's a decent pickup.
New recruit reporting in.
Put an end to magic.
A delicious challenge.
Oh, this attack is bad.
A morsel of regret.
Quinn not having Challenger seems kind of weird. Quinn would be incredibly busted if she had Challenger. She's still 2 away from leveling. Use the mobilitics in game overlay. I tried it, and you can't disable ads on it, and that's just a non-starter for me. I don't know if they've changed that since then, but like even if you pay for their little thing, it doesn't disable ads on it. I'm just not dealing with ads. I'm an adult. I think I'm just playing an Ashe here.
Faster than my arrow? I think not. Looking for trouble? It found you.
Yeah, it's Ashe Flash Freeze this turn.
Still heart, steady aim. No backing down. The time is right. Strike now.
Oh my god, I just used the Ashe Flash Freeze. Damn it. Yeah, good, didn't matter.
A lost battle, not a lost war.
Well, I get the streamer Twitch integration overlay even without having their desktop tracker on. I don't know. I don't really need tracker apps. Like, I can remember what's in my deck. The percentages that you see on there aren't really going to impact my decision making most of the time. Think I full mulligan here since we're on the draw. What are these ads? It plays an ad at every time one of your games finishes, if I recall. Yeah, the fact that they don't have an option to pay to remove it is really awful.
Hey there. Don't mind the knife.
You haven't gotten that? Weird. Maybe it's changed. Last time I tried to do it, it played an ad after I finished every game. I'm just not tolerating that. Their site's great and their tool's great, but depending on how Christy and the kids are doing, we might play a touch more Morrowind today, Dirty Digits, after Bad Rats. We'll see. I'm still planning to do another half hour with this deck. That puts us to about 4:30-ish, but if I'm being honest, I'm kind of hankering to play more Morrowind. That was fun yesterday.
All hands on deck!
Nah, I don't think so, Innuendo. I think your current response there is being a typical TCG player, and you're trying to sideboard my main deck after seeing 2 games that were incredibly close that we got unlucky in. And the game versus Scouts wasn't super close. The other one was razor thin, though. This isn't Magic. You're not sideboarding. Just like,
Denounce magic.
don't knee-jerk change your deck every time you lose a game. It's okay, really. No matter what you play, you're gonna lose games sometimes. My deck full of Wolves and Mage Seekers does not want to play Avalanche.
Safety will cost you. Strike for
You have no alibi.
It does and it doesn't. I like their site, so I send them $3 a month, but it does not, the subscription option does not remove ads from their desktop client. I mean, like, to be fair, Dirty Digits, you see idiots do that in Magic too, though. Where, like, you lose to aggro, and then all of a sudden they change their main deck to try and beat aggro, then they queue into control, and they change it back, and they just, like, have no discipline. The options to reset the board don't exist, Innuendo. Those are like the people, every time you flood, you cut a land, and every time you screw, you add a land. At least you don't have to deal with people that do that in Runeterra. And you can see here, like, it's turn 5, and their deck already has 4 out of 5 towards the Johnny leveling up, which is huge.
I deal in coins and carnage.
Up there in the mountains!
I mean, they changed the rules on that card, so that no longer works, right, joysticks?
Falling for blood!
Are there Shuffler Truthers in Runeterra, though? I'm sure there are. There's Flat Earthers in real life, right? Stupid runs deep. This is permanently vulnerable, so I think I just let this happen. Yeah, it was pretty busted. Well, they changed the rule on it, not because it was busted, but because it lets you infinitely rope your opponent if you wanted to. So, I don't actually think it was super powerful.
The sun is shining. We should too.
We should too. So, my opponent's made a huge mistake here. They've passed to me, assuming I'm going to attack, but I'm the control deck in this matchup. I win if the game goes long, so I'm going to go ahead and hit end round here and burn their 6 mana. It's a very big mistake that you can punish people for. When you are the control deck and the board is at parity or you're ahead, you should always pass in situations like that.
Only the strong survive. Pain is nothing.
So I have 10 total mana here. So I'm going to go ahead and play Mage Seeker Instigator here.
magic must be stopped.
Before
magic must be stopped.
Stand and fight.
Seize the opportunity.
You point, I shoot.
Bar the doors!
Bar the dolls. Think I just want to keep my life total high here. They have a warning shot. They can give my thing 0 attack, but that's fine. I think that still ends up okay for us here. So warning shot would trigger Sajani here, which would frostbite all my dorks. They do not. Oh heck. And then when they don't have the warning shot here, they just get got.
A beacon through the dark.
And again, a big part of why we're so ahead on board right now is because we tempoed our opponent out of 6 mana because they chose to pass last turn. They have 8 total mana here.
I will unite the Freljord.
Your mercy is a disease.
Your mercy is a disease. Okay, so Sajani's like confirmed to be a Republican then, right? She's like icy and thinks mercy is a disease. Is that how that works?
I am reborn of salt and brine. Dead men tell my tale. Winter take you.
So do we just try and lethal them here? I think we just try and lethal them here, right? Just like frostbite something, attack. Howdy D20. It's kind of funny how, like, warding shots just like the scariest card in their deck in situations like this.
Show me a target.
So she frostbite something, she levels up here, which means her leveled mode says none of their 0 power things can block. So they need something to deal damage to our Nexus to trigger Sajani, or they are dead. There's the warning shot.
I'll take my time.
Hey, Runtime, thanks for the $25 tip. I appreciate that.
Explosives.
You're having a good one wherever you're at. Your finest dealer's choice, please. 10 out of 10. Alright, do you open attacks here? You need to open attacks, right?
Off with ye.
So the plan here is to detain you, frostbite you.
The time is right. Strike now.
Lead the target.
Insolent cur.
This is dying anyways to his trigger. they can still Rex. They can still Rex. I don't know. I don't know that we're in a position to beat Rex, huh? Maybe rather than doing this, I'm supposed to like put this in front of here. If they Rex here, we have to like high roll and hope that they don't hit. Hope that they don't kill Lux, which is incredibly unlikely. Need to get 6 triggers to target R2 on the right here. Their archetype's just so greedy. And this gives them fully healed Sejani back, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's the risk.
There's plenty of killing left.
Second Gangplank's actually the scarier things they could do here. So this will frostbite these 3. Get to draw a card. If we don't die here, we're in an okay spot, because these Babbling Bergs draw Ashes. You fucking kidding me? That is incredibly bad beats. When did they plunder me? When did they plunder me?
Stand and fight.
That was my card, right? Yordle Grifter turn 4. Yep. The Allegiance one is definitely it. The problem here is this hits me, and then these get shrunk, which is why I needed that Frostbite to happen. Alright, I'm done. I'm not. I'm a little sideways after that one. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Bad Rats. That's, that was really frustrating in there. I don't know that I have I don't know that I have anything. Yeah, just like actual Stone Cold for the exact lethals at the end. I don't know that I have any changes to make. Think I'm pretty happy with what's going on here overall. Sometimes they have all the things and you die. Sometimes they have all the things and you die. Alright, let's play some Bad Rats, whatever that is.